Imagine a city the size of the Milky Way, floating right in front of you, but completely invisible. No lights. No stars. Just 1 trillion tons of silent mass waiting in the dark. NASA calls it a failed galaxy. I call it the ultimate camouflage. Welcome to Cloud 9. Let's be honest. Humans are arrogant. When we look into deep space and see something that doesn't fit our little textbooks, we call it a failure. We label it an anomaly. In January 2026, the Hubble Telescope, that old, reliable eye in the sky, spotted something that technically shouldn't exist. They named it Cloud 9. It is massive. It has the gravitational footprint of a fully formed galaxy. It is swirling with primordial hydrogen gas and held together by a dense skeleton of dark matter. By all laws of physics, this thing should be blazing with light. It has all the ingredients to cook up billions of stars. It's like a massive pile of dry wood soaked in gasoline. All it needs is a spark. But there is nothing. No fusion. No starlight. Just an immense, swirling bruise on the fabric of space. The scientific community immediately slapped a label on it: dark galaxy or failed galaxy. They say the gas is too diffuse to collapse into stars. They say the density isn't quite right. It is a comforting lie. It suggests that nature just messed up. That the universe tried to build a galaxy and forgot to plug it in. But look at the data again. The gas in Cloud 9 isn't just drifting aimlessly. It is organized. It rotates with a precision that borders on artificial. Think about it. If you found a car on the side of the road with a full tank of gas, a working battery, and the key in the ignition, but the engine wouldn't start, you wouldn't say the car failed. You would check if someone cut the fuel line on purpose. Cloud 9 isn't a failure. It is a choice. Star formation is a violent, messy, and loud process. A star is essentially a nuclear bomb that explodes continuously for billions of years. It screams, "I am here," to everyone in the observable universe. If you are a civilization that values privacy or survival, a star is the worst thing you can have. What if Cloud 9 is an engineering project? To stop a star from forming, you have to fight gravity. You have to keep the gas clouds hot or turbulent enough so they don't collapse under their own weight. That requires energy. It requires management. So, when we look at this dark patch in the sky, we aren't looking at a barren wasteland. We are likely looking at a Type 3 civilization that has mastered the art of stellar abortion. They nip the stars in the bud. They live in the gas. They harvest the potential energy without lighting the beacon. It is the cosmic equivalent of a submarine running silent, running deep. And they have been doing it for billions of years right under our noses. But why? Why would anyone choose to live in eternal, freezing darkness? The answer is simple. And it is terrifying. In the animal kingdom, there are only 2 ways to guarantee survival. You either become the biggest, meanest predator in the jungle, or you become invisible. There is a concept in xenobiology called the dark forest theory. It suggests that the universe is full of life, but it looks empty because everyone is hiding. Why? Because there are hunters out there. Civilizations so advanced and so aggressive that they wipe out competition the moment they detect it. In this context, a star is not a source of life. A star is a target. It is a gigantic, burning flare that screams, "Here is energy. Here is a biosphere. Come and eat us." We humans are the loud idiots of the galaxy. We send out radio signals. We launch golden records on Voyager probes with maps to our home. We are basically walking through a sniper-infested war zone wearing a neon vest and shouting into a megaphone. The entities inside Cloud 9 are smarter than us. They realized billions of years ago that light is a leak of information. So, They instituted the protocol of silence. They engineered a galaxy where the lights never turn on. By suppressing star formation, they remain cold. To an outside observer, like our Hubble Telescope, Cloud 9 looks like a cloud of nothing. A hunter scanning the sky for thermal signatures or fusion reactors would skip right over it. It is the ultimate stealth technology. If the idea of a universe filled with silent hunters gives you chills, hit subscribe and tell me in the comments, would you choose eternal safety in the dark or a dangerous life in the light? Thank you for joining the resistance. Let's get back to the void. So, what does life look like inside a galaxy without stars? It wouldn't be life as we know it. No photosynthesis. No sunbathing. No eyes that see the visible spectrum. The inhabitants of Cloud 9 would perceive the world through gravity and weak infrared radiation. They don't need a sun to keep them warm. They likely harvest energy directly from the kinetic movement of the gas clouds or from the dark matter web itself. They are creatures of the deep freeze. Imagine a civilization that has never seen a shadow because there is no light to cast one. Their ships, if they have ships, would be coated in vanablack materials, absorbing 99.9% of all radiation. They would move through the gas filaments like sharks in murky water. But here's the catch. Keeping a galaxy dark is actually harder than lighting it up. Gravity wants to crush that gas into stars. It is a natural urge. To stop it, you need a constant, galaxy-wide dampening field. You need to constantly stir the pot, keeping the gas turbulent so it never settles down enough to ignite fusion. This implies that Cloud 9 isn't just a habitat. It is a machine. A machine the size of a galaxy, running a program designed to do one thing: keep the lights off. And they have been successful. For eons, they have drifted through the cosmos, invisible, watching other loud, bright civilizations rise and get destroyed. But now, in 2026, something changed. We pointed our best telescope at them. We analyzed their mass. We named them. We knocked on their door. And if there is one rule in a stealth mission, it is this: once you are spotted, the mission changes. You don't hide anymore. You eliminate the witness. This brings us to the most disturbing theory of all. What if Cloud 9 isn't just a bunker? What if it is a graveyard? What if there were stars there once, but they were all harvested? We are about to look at the Dyson swarm theory, and why Cloud 9 might be the hungriest object in the universe. Let's pivot to the third and most disturbing theory. What if the scientists are right about the mass, but wrong about the history? What if Cloud 9 isn't a galaxy that failed to start? What if it is a galaxy that has already finished? We know that Cloud 9 contains the mass of billions of stars. We see the gravity holding it together. We just don't see the light. There is a hypothetical megastructure called a Dyson sphere. It is a shell built around a star to capture 100% of its energy. If you build a solid shell around a light bulb, the room goes dark. Now, imagine a civilization that didn't just stop at one star. Imagine they colonized their entire galaxy. Over millions of years, they wrapped every single sun in a Dyson swarm. One by one, the lights went out. Not because they died, but because they were caged. In this scenario, Cloud 9 isn't a cloud of gas. It is a bustling, overpopulated metropolis of trillions of beings. They are consuming the energy of billions of captive stars, running their supercomputers, living their digital lives inside these shells. To us, on the outside, it looks like a dead void. But inside, it is blindingly bright. This explains the mass. The stars are still there inside the shells. The gravity is still there. But the light is trapped. And this makes Cloud 9 something far worse than a failed galaxy. It makes it a hungry one. Gravity is a relentless force. It pulls everything in. Cloud 9 is a massive gravitational well. It acts like a siren song in the dark. Stray stars, rogue planets, and clouds of hydrogen are pulled into it. And what happens when a new star falls into Cloud 9? It doesn't light up the galaxy. The moment it enters their territory, the swarm descends. They surround it. They dismantle it. They wrap it in a new shell. The light is snuffed out in a cosmic blink of an eye. It is a roach motel. Light checks in, but it doesn't check out. Now, look at the Milky Way. Look at us. We are bright. We are messy. We are wasting energy, spewing light into the void like a leaking pipe. To a Type 3 civilization that values efficiency, or silence, we must look like a disaster. Or perhaps, like a resource. Cloud 9 is roughly 300 million light-years away. That is a safe distance, you might think. But gravity has infinite reach. And if they are looking for their next meal, or their next expansion, they won't look for the dark places. They will look for the bright ones. They will look for us. So, the next time you see a picture of a dark galaxy or a void in space, don't pity it. Don't think of it as a failure of nature. Think of it as a predator lying in the tall grass, holding its breath, waiting for the prey to walk just a little bit closer. We are walking closer every day. And the scariest part isn't that we are alone in the dark. It's that we aren't. Sleep tight.